All right, we're going to try this again. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. I had some feedback, and I uh, really couldn't even go forward with the actual webinar itself. So I'm assured that we're probably not going to have anyone here on the live, but you can always refer back to it. It will be here available on this link. It will be available on my site, be available on all of my YouTube videos, and you can personally request, and I will send you the link. Very powerful information that I wanted to present. Once again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. So with that being said, let's um let's get started with the presentation. And all right. So the first thing is I want to say, for those of you who are experiencing this, obviously the replay, thank you so much for participating. This is a very powerful, like I said, a powerful free master class. It's totally free. You can refer back to this information anytime you want to. We want to talk about the manifesting fundamentals, the basics of manifesting, because that's the most important thing that we have to understand on a day to day basis. There are a lot of different nuances to the law of attraction and manifesting and deliberate creation that we can dive into in different types of books and material and literature. But the one thing that we're constantly doing is we're constantly manifesting energy or interpreting energy. And we have to remember the basics and remember to apply the basics. And so this is the basics of manifesting. Like I said, I think this is going to be a real eye opener for you, a real powerful webinar, a master class in your experience. Very knowledgeable. And so let's get started. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Zachary Smith. Now, I go by Zach Smith, of course, and I'm an author and mentor and coach. And my story, basically, I am the living example or the evidence of this great knowledge that I share. So, everything that I share with you, whether you are new to this information or just coming on as a subscriber to my channel, or maybe happenstance you land on my website, zachsmith.org, all of this information, everything that I share in the courses, everything is in a compilation of what I'm experiencing. So I'm constantly growing myself. I'm constantly learning and sharing that knowledge. So this is the definitive, this is who I am. This is my life. This is what I have experienced. And see, many years ago, my life starts with exactly what I'm sharing. It was late. I was in ruin. I was in financial ruin. I was in relationship ruin. It was simply tragic. From my perspective, it was a tragic experience. I was going through a divorce, a single father of two. Like I said, financial ruin, working at a job that I couldn't stand. I just detested that job. And little did I know I was developing health problems. But it's so contrary and so contradictory. In the midst of all this seeming chaos, my mentor presented himself to me. And it just almost seemed like it was at the right time, in the right place, in the right moment in my life. And through his mentorship over the course of our time that we had together, he began to completely, and I do mean completely, change my entire life. I went through a transformation. I am not the same person I was before this mentor had reached out to me. And I've manifested some amazing things in my life, and I began to change everything in my life. I began to resolve old issues with my ex-wife. I forgave her for, uh, she cheated on me, And that was an issue within my self-worth, but I was able to forgive her. I was able to establish a great relationship with my children. People at work used to hate me. They completely hated me. And then through this process of this mentorship and changing my perception and my perspective of life, I completely I was able to completely turn their opinion about me around, and they started doing things for me. And I was a manager. They would just offer to do things for me. So a lot of amazing things. My finances just began to completely turn around. I was able to manifest this beautiful luxury car that I had never had a luxury car before in my life. I didn't even know what a luxury car was growing up. First luxury car ever. First decent car ever. And then I had manifested thousands of dollars. I was able to, I had financial stability. I used to have a bank account that I would constantly spend because my mind was just not in the right place because of the divorce and self-worthiness and self-confidence. And I just, I would make all the wrong decisions, and my bank account would reflect that. It was completely negative all the time, and overdraft fees, and then completely turned around. I started a business, an online business, and I was able to learn about tax revenue and business and the tax code, and I was able to put money back into my pocket at the end of the year. And then everything just began a domino effect, and he really changed my life. And I was able to leave that job in so many words, and I'll begin to end with this. I was able to leave that job, and I met the love of my life. And now we have a new life together. We have a baby that's on the way. Life is amazing. And I'm developing my business, and I am so thankful. So, I, because I have created a transformation in my life, I am helping others to create transformations in their lives. We want those transformations. We don't want to just right a few wrongs in our life. We want to live the life experience that we want to live. We want a transformation. And so now I empower others to change their lives through my mentorship and the information and the mentorship that I had received. So, without further ado, let's get started. The first thing is we have to understand, and this is really key and this is really, really important. We must understand that we are not just a human being having a human experience separate from others. This person is separate from me. I'm living this life alone. And we hear about spirit and we hear about the higher self, and we acknowledge that, but we conduct ourselves in our lives like we're a single being. And you're not. You are not a single being. You are a multi-dimensional being. Specifically, you are a being that is connected with another being. Now, to give you a little bit of perspective here, imagine that you have a twin on the other side of the world, the other side of the planet, an identical twin. And this has been mapped out and through science. If one twin has a certain emotional experience, the other twin can feel it. See, that's what is taking place in so many words with you and your higher self. You have a higher being. Now, this higher being is not higher than you or hierarchy or better than you. This being is on a higher vibratory rate than you. It's in a frequency of love and joy and happiness and appreciation. It is a high vibratory rate. And you are more or less in between that. You're on a lower frequency, a more denser frequency. You can experience fear and all different forms of fear, such as what's on the emotional guidance scale with anger and frustration and irritation and boredom, malcontent, sadness and grief and all of that. But you see, you are connected with this being. You're not separate. So I give you this image of two people looking at each other, kind of running with each other, talking, having a conversation, and it seems like they're separate. They're not. We're all part of a greater consciousness. Now, this being is and will not lower its frequency. You must understand that. It's on a loving, higher frequency, vibratory rate, of course, and it will not lower its frequency. It calls you towards the higher frequency, and we'll talk about that. Now, what I want you to, and obviously this image here is an individual sitting in a maze. I want you to think of your life as a maze, the maze of life, if you will. And I want you to understand this powerful premise. You are perceiving your reality. So you have a certain perspective. So in the maze of life, if you will, in this analogy, you see in front of you, you see behind you, you see to the left of you, you see to the right of you. You are perceiving that particular reality. Your higher self has the ability and can see all of the maze. It can see all of your experience. It has a 30,000-foot view of your life. Very, very key, very, very important. You have a limited view of your life. Your higher self has and can see from a broader perspective. Imagine like a bird perched on top of a skyscraper. The person walking on the street below, they can't see what's coming around the corner. But the bird can, the higher self can. From a 30,000-foot view, you can see everything. So your higher self can see where and what you are and knows what you want, knows what you desire, knows what you intend, and is guiding you to that. Knows exactly where you are in relationship to where you want to be. Very, very key. So your higher self, the part of you, the higher being, the more higher vibrational being, if you will, the loving part of you is guiding you through the maze of life. Very, very, very important. Guiding you through the maze of life. You don't have to, you just have to understand that you are perceiving the reality and allow that guidance to guide you through the maze of life. Another example is in this image, I want you to imagine that you are on a ship, or you are the ship on a stormy, stormy sea. And your higher self is the lighthouse that is guiding you to safe harbor. Very, very, very important. Now, how does the higher self guide me? It guides you through your emotions. So you see all different types of emotions represented by this individual. The most important thing to understand here is if you are feeling good, now and this is part of the step-by-step process. If you are feeling good, you are moving in the right direction. If you are feeling bad, you are moving in the wrong direction. Here's the powerful point here. You can, for example, you can want a better lifestyle or more money, or let's just say you want to manifest a house. Remember, your higher self is connected to you, so knows exactly what you want. Knows exactly what you want. Better than you can probably even comprehend it. Your higher self will guide you to it. So here's the thing. You can go about your entire daily experience, your day-to-day process, and just live in the moment and manifest what you want because you're going to be guided to it. When you feel good, and you know, it's kind of comical, but I say, get up in the morning and meditate. You're moving in the right direction. Get up in the morning and go for a walk. You feel better. You feel more energized. When you feel better, when you feel good, you're moving in the right direction. You don't have to do the visualization. You can if you want to. You don't have to do the affirmations. All you have to do is feel good in the moment. And when you're feeling good, know that you're moving in the right direction. Know that there is another being, or that being that is connected to you, that sees all, knows all, and is guiding you. That is so powerful to me because, it goes back to that image I just shared. You're a ship on a stormy sea, and most people are sort of living in survival mode. And the higher self is the lighthouse that's guiding you. So the only thing that you need to do is look for the light. How do you look for the light? Feel good. Everything is congruent. Everything will fall in line with feeling good because everything that you possibly could ever want or ever desire is because you want to feel good. Most important. So, step one is you must understand, accept, and begin to cultivate a relationship with your higher self. Most important. Once again, you must understand, accept, and begin to cultivate a relationship with your higher self. Very, very, very important. Because if you don't cultivate that relationship or acknowledge it and work on it, you'll end up in the wrong life path. You'll go down the wrong roads in life. You'll end up in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. You'll end up in unfulfilling relationships. The most important relationship that you ever could possibly establish. And think about how hard we work on relationships with our spouse or with our children or with our mother and father, our family and friends. The most important relationship that you must, and I do mean must work on, you have to work on this, is the relationship with the higher self. Nothing can ever come of your life in a good way if you do not work on that relationship with your higher self. Very, very, very important. And I'm going to be so bold as to say this. I know a lady right now who's suffering from stage 4 cancer. And the reason that she's suffering, and this may be controversial, but I'm going to share this with you because it's the truth. The reason that she's suffering is because she hasn't understood, established, and connected with her higher self. Because the higher self feeds you life, it gives you life, it restores life, it brings life. You will miss opportunities. There are so many opportunities. Remember, the higher self is on like a bird perched on top of the skyscraper. There are so many opportunities out there for you that you can't possibly begin to think about, that you can't possibly begin to fathom or comprehend. They're there. But if you are not following your guidance and you are stuck in sort of survival mode, frustrated and upset and all this, you are moving in the wrong direction and you're going to miss the opportunities that lay before you. Beautiful opportunities for expansion and for growth. You will end up, here's the thing, if you don't cultivate a relationship with your higher self, you'll be looking for love in all the wrong places. The people who experience or have drug abuse or alcohol abuse, they're looking for love in all of the wrong places. They're trying to fill a void, they're trying to find a feel good feeling. You see, it's because they haven't cultivated a relationship with their higher self. It's the most important thing. I can't stress that enough. But if you do secure and cultivate a relationship with your higher self, you will achieve unlimited amounts of wealth and abundance and prosperity. You have to understand that money is a byproduct of value. Value is a byproduct of your ideas, of your talents, of your abilities. You create the value. You are the money. If you don't establish that relationship with the higher self, you're never going to follow your passions. You're never going to have mind clarity. You're going to constantly be stuck in survival mode. You're going to be stressed out, not thinking properly. Your viscera, your blood flow will not work accordingly. It's a domino effect. But if you establish that relationship with your higher self, You'll come up with all of these ideas. You'll be in the right place at the right time with the greatest opportunities, with the greatest people. You'll have amazing manifestations. I just had an experience where a very famous author and keynote speaker just reached out to me about a book that I wrote 2 or 3 years ago that I didn't even think was the greatest thing in the world. But you see, opportunities present themselves. I must stress this. I want you to understand this. And I created a subconscious programmer for relationship. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll receive that. But you're also getting that information here. You you're never in love with the other person. You're always in love with yourself. Your self-love, that self-love is the relationship with your higher self. When you fall in love with yourself, then the conscious awareness that you will have, the universe will reflect that self love back to you in another person, in another being. And the reason that we have those broken relationships or we fall out of line with our family and friends is because we're trying to get them to make us feel better. All the while, we're not establishing and cultivating that relationship with our higher self. It's impossible. You have to have that relationship with your higher self first. And last but not least, health and vitality. You establish a relationship with your higher self. You understand this: your cells are in a relationship with your higher self. They're aligned. They're in balance. The only thing that takes them out of balance and causes you to have issue regarding health problems, if you will, is the thought process, is your lower frequency, is you not cultivating, you're not listening to your inner guidance. You're going the wrong way. You're feeling negative emotion and it's causing an imbalance in your body. Very, very important. So now I want to share with you, and this is truthful, and I want you to know this, that yes, that's wonderful, Zach. I understand we need to begin to cultivate a relationship with our higher self. I understand that. But what I want you to know is now there's something that is standing your way. And believe me, it is standing in everyone's way in some regards or others. And that is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind creates a neural net in what is called synaptic connections. When you think a thought over and over and over again, it begins to think itself because the synapses begin to connect with each other and send signals back and forth and then creates this neural net, as you see in the image here. It creates what is called a paradigm. It's a mental program that was established when you were a child. Now, here's the thing: as you are born, you're born into an experience. You are listening to your parents. You have the beliefs and the thoughts and the patterning and the habits of your parents. Children become their parents. Children are essentially a derivative of their parents, if you will. You see, an extension of their parents' thinking, unless they break free and change that paradigm. And also your friends and your family and all of that. It creates this view of your world. It also creates what is called the self-image. Very, very powerful. Creates limiting beliefs. And it's 95% in control. And I really want you to understand this. I've shared many, 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 many videos about this, but it's 95% in control of not only your thoughts, your beliefs, which beliefs are only thoughts that you keep thinking. Emotions, it's an emotional mind, so there are emotional triggers. It's in your comfort zone. It wants to keep you in your comfort zone. Doesn't like disruption. It's in control of your behaviors. It's in control of your patterning, your thought patterning, your habits, and we are creatures of habit, and also ultimately the results that you get in your life. It is 95% in control. Now, guys, that's a big part of, of your mind. 95%. Now, there's another part of your mind, or your brain, The left brain and right brain. The left brain is the logical, analytical, reasoning side of the brain. The right brain is the creative, intuitive, artistic side. They work in tandem together. We live in a dualistic environment. There's duality, positive, negative, up and right, masculine, feminine, left and left leg, right arm, right leg. You see, two hemispheres that operate two different parts of the body. But your left brain and your right brain have the ability to decipher, discern your reality. Now, when you're a child, you don't have that left brain and right brain functionality. You don't have that ability to decide. You're just absorbing that information constantly. And so you're creating that paradigm. Well, when you get, let's just say 20 or 25, and you decide, okay, I can make my own decisions. I don't want this particular life experience. Now you have to battle with the subconscious because your left brain and right brain functionality is only 5% in control. It's only 5%, once again, 5% to 95% in control. The subconscious is very, very, very powerful. Very, very powerful to understand that. So, step two is you have to change the paradigm. And what is the self-image? The self-image is how you perceive your world. It's how you perceive everything in your life. It's what you look at in the mirror. It is you. You are the self-image. The self-image is you. So step one, let's refer back. Step one is establish a relationship with your higher self. Step two is change the self-image. The self-image is what creates the reality. It's what creates the perception of the reality. Now, the self image is the idea one has of one's abilities, appearances, we talked about that, and personality. So it's creating the personality on the inside, is creating everything on the inside, and it also is creating the way you perceive your reality on the outside. Very, very powerful. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? What clothes are you wearing? It's creating that reality. Creating what house do you live in? That's part of your self image. What car do you drive? That's part of your self image. What job do you have? What career? What business do you have? That's part of the self image that was created a long, 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 long time ago. Remember, 95% in control. So, mentorship. It's important to understand this, that yes, you have to change the self image. How do you change the self image? If you created that self image a long, long time ago, you're not going to be able to change it in a matter of days, in a matter of hours, minutes. You're not going to be able to change it by yourself. That's why you need mentorship. That's why I received mentorship. I needed someone on the outside to step in and say, look, are you ready to change? Are you ready for new information? Are you ready for transformation? And that's what mentorship does for you. You know, some people, they get the mentorship from their father. Some, they get it from a great uncle or a family friend. Mentorship and a mentor is there to hold you accountable to your dreams and your goals. Otherwise, you will just spin around in this old paradigm of lack and limitation in survival mode. A mentor is there to help you change the old self image to a new self image. Most important to understand, because you want that transformation. That transformation cannot come by the old self image, the old patterning, the old habits, the old behaviors. All of that encompassed together. It cannot come. You have to have someone on the outside helping you to change. That's where a mentor comes in. And every successful person, no matter what their success, no matter the person, they've had a mentor somewhere in their life. Somewhere, someone helped them. Someone taught them something new. People who are unteachable can never grow. I've seen it many, many times. So many people out there are so, this is the way life is. These are my beliefs. This is my reality. And it's not. You are unlimited. You are unlimited being. And a mentor is there to help you to understand that. A mentor is there to help you explore and expand and grow. A mentor is there to help you to change your self image if you desire to. And here's the thing, the mentor does not dictate the self image. This is powerful. You have the free choice, you have all of the freedom. You get to choose. You get to choose the self image. Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a real estate agent? Do you want to be a wealthy business owner? You get to choose the self image that you want to change to. You get to choose. And that's power. That is ultimate self power and ultimately empowering. So, how do you change, Zach? Okay, so I understand all that all that we've gone over so far. How do you begin to change? This is important. You begin to change your habits. Now, a lot of people will say, and I'm an advocate of that, but it's very, very hard. That's why you need a mentor. Changing the thought process. You can't change the thought process overnight. You can't change the process in a small amount of time. It takes time to break down those synaptic connections. But powerful way to break down those synaptic connections, because remember the subconscious, 95% in control, of behaviors, patterning, habits, results. You have to change some of the physical habits that you have, and that will begin to break apart the synaptic connections. Very, very powerful. I want you to listen very closely. Changing the physical habits, altering the physical habits will begin to change the brain synaptic connections and that neural net that ultimately creates the subconscious mind. Very, very, very important. So let me give you an example. Let's just say that you get up on the left side of the bed. Instead of getting up on the left side of the bed, get up on the right side of the bed. Now, this is not comical, but I want to share this with you. These little certain things, you have to have accountability because you won't do them. And I've worked with enough people, I've seen this in through my own personal experience. If I, as a mentor, say to you, okay, what you need to do is you need to change your physical habits. All you need to do, we'll start off, get up and get up on the different side of the bed. If you don't constantly have and speak out loud and actually direct your subconscious mind, if you're trying to do it alone, you're never going to do it. You see the power in the subconscious. You will think about it, but you won't do it because the subconscious will say, no, 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 no. You can't do that. That's not who you are. You get up on this side of the bed. If you drink coffee in the mornings, that's who you are. That's your self-image. That's who you are. That's that's you. You can't do that. You can't drink water. But when you drink water, you change the patterning. You change the synaptic connection. You alter the course. You see? Very, very powerful. When you get up in the morning, if you rush off to work, you grab your keys, maybe grab a banana or something like that, you rush off to work, and that's your morning routine, and you're headed down the road, that's the old patterning. That's associated with the old self image. Let's just say that you get up and you meditate, new self image. I'm and a lot of people they struggle with meditating, but it's part of changing that process. It's part of changing the self image. It's part of trying to break down those old patternings and so old thought processes, those synaptic connections, and reestablishing new ones. This is very, very powerful in your experience. What's most powerful, and I am a complete advocate of this, is meditation for mind clarity. A mind in chaos and confusion, and believe that most people in their lives, because of that old paradigm that they grew up with, are experiencing chaos and confusion and living in survival mode and lack and limitation, and the list goes on. But a mind in chaos and confusion can only just survive. A mind in clarity can create anything, anything, and does create anything and everything. And what meditation will do for you is slow down these thoughts that are running 90 to nothing, that are depicting, okay, this is my habit, or this is my behavior, or this is my emotional reaction, or this is ultimately the results that I'm getting. You slow everything down and you begin to understand that the inner world is reflected on the outer world. The outer world, heed this, understand this. Everything that's happening in the outer world is a reflection of the self image and the perception that you have within. And your ability to connect with your higher self or not connect with your higher self. Are you going it alone in this life? Are you struggling in survival, thinking that there's happenstance and coincidence? Or are you following your guidance? Most important. Now, step three, and should have mentioned this before, but write these down, refer back to these. And like I said, you can always refer back to this. This will be recorded here in this link. Step three is align the new self image with your inner guidance. So you establish the relationship with your higher self. You change the self image by changing the subconscious and getting rid of those old patterns and all that paradigm that was created when you were younger. You create a new self image with the assistance of someone, a mentor, to help guide you. And then you align your new self image with your inner guidance. And here's the key: once you change that self image to a self image that you desire, a new reality that you want to create, the inner guidance will automatically flow. It'll be second nature, it'll be beautiful, easy, effortless manifestations. Effortless. So I want to give you two self images here. An example. You have the minor. This is the current self-image. Let's just say that you have this current self-image. Now, you probably can't all relate, and I completely understand with that. But this is extreme. This minor has grown up in, let's just say, a middle-class experience. This minor gets up in the morning and knows that he's got to go to work, knows that this is just what I have to do for my family. I'm working hard for a paycheck. I'm trying to take care of the mortgage. I'm trying to take care of the bills, trying to take care of my family. I have a child on the way, and or I have a number of children. I have to put my children through college. I have to work hard. And the only way that I can make more money is get more hours. So this is self-image. He dresses a certain way. He has certain buddies. He has certain habits. He has a certain decorum. That is his life. And when he thinks about rich people or extra money or business, he's like, I don't know any of that stuff. That's not for me. That's not who I am. It's not my self-image. And here's the thing. One of the things that I want to share with you is he's not teachable. And that's quite all right. You get to choose. You have free choice. But he's not teachable. So he'll never reach out. He'll never want to change. He'll never want a transformation. But here's the thing, and this is so tragic. He is an unlimited being. And that if he followed his guidance, if he just listen to his guidance, in which there are a lot of men who are not emotional. They don't even want to even think about emotions or feelings. They push them away. But that's your guidance. That is your guidance. He'll never know his guidance. He'll go his whole life struggling in survival, in this old self image, in this paradigm, and never see anything become of his life, knowing that he could become anything that he wanted to. He has unlimited expansion. He has the ability to achieve anything, the greatest potential, divine potential. And he'll die knowing that he will know that he did a good job. And that was his free choice. But the enlightened human will know that, oh, you could have had so much more. You could have been so much more. You are so much more. The wealthy business owner, Bill Gates, picture of Bill Gates, if he were to shift into that new self image, think about it. That new self image, a wealthy business owner, you are focused on creation, value creation. The miner is focused on value production, producing value for someone else. But the wealthy business owner is focused on wealth creation or creative endeavors, ideas, expansion, health, benefiting others, service to others, not just service to self, and definitely not living in a survival mode, living in expansion, innovation. And anyone can change to that self image and create that reality. Anyone, because you all have talents. This man quit Harvard to work on something that everyone was blasphemy about. What are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. But he was following his guidance. You follow your guidance. Your guidance will lead you. This man probably doesn't even know about the higher self, but believe me, he's following his guidance. Very, very important. Two different people, two different experiences, life experiences. This miner on the left can transform into this wealthy business owner on the right. Can't be Bill Gates, but he can be something even more amazing. But he doesn't know that, and he's unteachable. And he's not willing to reach out. He thinks that he just has to do what he has to do. It's all because of the synaptic connections, guys. It's all because of the paradigm. It's so unfortunate. So now I want to share this with you, this bonus. And it's real simple. And I've shared this many, 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 many times. The absolute power of compassion. I want you to know, I want you to know that compassion is not just a word. It is a power. We have been taught that compassion is reaching out to others. It's a word, it's an act. You don't hear many people talk about compassion. It's just something that humans do. It's something that's nice. I have compassion. But did you know, and you need to know, it is a power. It is a supreme power. Compassion is the greatest power. Love for thyself, connected with yourself, your higher self, and love for others. And I want to say this, that all these steps, if you will incorporate acts of compassion or acts of kindness in your day to day routine, if you will stop in this, no offense, and I'm not being stereotypical here, if you will not judge others, if you will empower others, if you will see the potential in others. Notice, remember, we talked about the miner. That miner has unlimited abilities, unlimited experience, but he's stuck in a paradigm that won't let him even begin to perceive a different reality. and he's not following his inner guidance, he's struggling in survival. But you can reach out to others. Acts of kindness have healed disease. Compassion changes the world and will change the world. It's the future of the world, a compassionate society. This is a bonus. I want to say this, and I'll begin to end with this. Compassion will enhance your entire ability to manifest. I am not kidding one bit, and that's why I wanted to share this master class with you. Compassion will enhance your ability 100-fold to manifest. Once again, compassion will advance and enhance your ability to manifest effortlessly. I've talked about step further, high physics, low physics. You can literally control the physics of your reality. Check out my online course. It'll be available in the description below. You can access that on my YouTube channel, and you can go to my website. Check out that course. Most powerful. That's the next level of manifesting. But I hope this really empowers you. I hope that you understand this is it's a simple step-by-step process. Now, we are looking for step-by-steps, very simple procedures. It is a process. It is a process that you can do on your own. But you really need someone there to help you. You need someone there to guide you. Someone there to hold you accountable. You need to invest in yourself. Invest in your knowledge. Invest in your expansion. We all have to play the money game. It's inevitable. But invest in yourself. Invest in your family. Invest in your future. And so, if you would like a mentor, if you would like with someone to help you transform, then you can click down at the bottom of this link and reach out to me. We can begin that transformation. And you can see a great change, like I've seen in my life, a major change. Everyone is looking for results. But we're not looking to just right those few wrongs in our life. We are looking for results. We're looking to change our lives. Transformation. And here's the key. Transformation begins with you. So I want to thank you, everyone, for listening to this free master class. Share this with others. People need to know about their inner guidance. The reason that there's so much tragedy, so much unfortunate circumstances happening every single day is because people do not know this information. So please share it. Share it as a service to others, as a compassion for the other individual. I hope everyone has an awesome day. Be inspired, and we'll see you again. Thanks for listening.